Hello there, my fellow lovers of horror, my fellow fans of the macabre and mystery. To those who love all things spooky, I am your wicked host, Callan Hale. Welcome to Wicked Wednesday at our new time slot, 8 p.m. MST. If you are enjoying this, close those blinds, turn out those lights. But before you do that, grab your favorite beverage, grab your favorite snacks, and throw in your headphones for the best immersive experience. We're going to pick up right about where we left off, a little bit before actually, watching the video from Alanwake's wife, from Alice.
Photography was everything to me. I moved to New York thinking I'd make it as an artist. And then I met Alan. We had a good thing. We were both dedicated by our creative ambitions. The only difference was that Alan's work made money. He brought me work when he could. I took his promo shots, created covers for his books. I'm sure he forced his publisher into it. I was taking photos, just not my photos. And that gnawed at me. Things got complicated sometimes, but that's life, right? We loved each other. Then Alan hit a block. I brought out a meaner side of him. One I didn't like. I set up a trip to see a doctor in Washington. I didn't tell him until we got there. We argued. Things went wrong. And he was just gone. Drowned, allegedly. It's easy for people to think it was my fault. Hell, I do too sometimes. About 6 years ago, I started hearing noises in the night. Typewriter keys clacking. Voices. Alan was back. Haunting me. Then it got violent. It was Alan. And yet, it was a monster. He always did have anger in him. I set up cameras around the apartment with motion sensors and flashes. Now, when the monster comes, I turn it into art. My nightmares caught on film. And this is the focus of my new exhibition. To show people the world is so much darker than they ever knew. I'm calling this exhibit The Dark Place.
Alice. Scratch was terrorizing her. Why?
The Dark Place, The Art of Alanwake.
I sat in the writer's room and wrote a story. Initiation. To project myself through the dark place, to look for a way out. The story had brought me here, brought me nowhere. Looped me back. I was writing the story. And in the story, I now stepped into the writer's room. But there was no one here writing it.
All right, and now we jump. This is one.
Okay, let's recap what you've told us so far, Alan. For the past 13 years, you've been trapped in a nightmare dimension called the Dark Place.
Yeah.
It's like New York, but it's not New York. And can be reached from the bottom of Cauldron Lake, but it's not really under the lake. And after all this time, you've managed to get out.
Yeah.
But so has your evil doppelganger. Mr. Scratch? Or is it the Dark Presence?
Both. It's interchangeable. He's Scratch when he looks like me, but he can change into this other form.
And Scratch, the Dark Presence, wants to rewrite the world in his own image.
Which would be in your image, as he looks just like you.
And turn the world into a fucking nightmare.
During Deerfest, which is scheduled to take place in a couple of days. You got out of the Dark Place by writing a novel, the pages we've been finding. But your double edited it into a horror story that's now changing reality, taking over people,
Yeah.
making them crazy, bringing the Dark Place to Bright Falls.
Yes, fiction coming in contact with the Dark Place can change reality. The story is coming true, soaking into everything like darkness when night falls. But last time it...
This will be back in 2010.
Yes, last time it didn't happen all at once. The story came true bit by bit as it unfolded. And that dark presence was still bound to the lake. I stopped it before it got the ending it wanted. Before it broke free. Based on that, there's still time.
Which brings us to your magical light switch.
The clicker. Magical doesn't quite cover it. Scratch wants it to bring about his ending. That can't happen. If I can get the clicker, I can send him back to the Dark Place, make all this shit go away. Look, I know it's batshit crazy. My memory is full of holes, and I'm not sure how much I can trust. It's like a half-forgotten dream.
Mr. Wake, Alan, we've seen our share of batshit crazy in the past 24 hours. What I want to know is, why am I? Why are we written into the story?
I think I saw you. Or a vision of you in the Dark Place. I think you helped me reach out and escape somehow. With that in the story, Scratch would have edited it to get to you. hurt you. We are all in danger.
You're threatening a federal agent there for a second, buddy.
It's insane. And there's so much of it.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the cult of the tree?
Creepy bunch. In the habit of wearing deer masks, performing murder rituals, victims turning into monsters possessed by darkness. Possibly inspired by a horror story written by a certain author. Ring any bells?
The cult. Yes. Yes. They have the clicker.
If the cult has the clicker, does that make them Scratch's followers? How are you so certain they even have the clicker?
They could be working for Scratch. I don't remember. It's all confused.
Alan, if I'm gonna act on this information, you need to be honest with me.
Yeah, of course.
Is he confused? Or is he hiding something?
Why not both? Let's go to the profile section. First, profiling. The cult and the clicker.
Wake said the cult has the clicker. How does he know?
The writer is the reader. The next chapter, the next chapter, the next chapter. Keep the pages safe, the dark shining of the words.
Wake is hiding pages. That's how he knows the cult has the clicker. Wake has a double. Mr. Scratch. Where is he now?
A cloud of wrath wears my face. The dark place in your place. Scratching out my body of work.
Scratch is here. In Washington. He's hunting Wake. Scratch looks just like Wake. Why?
Don't wake up the dreamer if your life is a dream. I swam to the shore, but the water is rising.
Wake and Scratch are clearly connected. Maybe Scratch got out because Wake did. Or vice versa. If only the rest of the Bureau knew what a softy Casey is. My first ever prank on Casey. A true classic. The Mile High Strangler case. Proud of that one.
I did not realize I was muted this whole time. I mentioned when we looked at the whiskey, I'm more of a Scotch man rather than Irish whiskey man myself. But also, we're going to do like we did with Alanwake 1 and buying Thursdays. Doesn't look like I can do anything for that or that. Cases.
Wake just gave us a lot of information. But this clicker seems like a good place to start. If we find that, then we find the cult. Right.
The cult. Yes. Yes. They have the clicker.
Okay, nursery.
Creepy dolls. Mysterious rhymes. No weirder than anything else going on, I guess.
Oh, Make rhymes. Break false rhymes? No.
Nah.
Frodo used to solve the nursery rhyme. I think that was Cauldron Lake. Strange dolls.
Huh.
Okay. Cult stashes. The story.
The pages we've been finding are from a horror story called Return, written by Alanwake. And the contents of this book are coming true.
I don't remember if Scratch got out.
Why couldn't it have been a romance?
Wake was trapped in the dark place for 13 years. Wake, the story changes our reality. This is an eternity inside the dark place called... Entity inside the dark place called the Dark Presence. There's a lot of info here. Flashlight seems to weaken Taken. Inside a bright light, Saga felt safe, like nothing could hurt. Wake, fiction coming into contact with dark places, power to change reality. If we don't stop it, Scratch needs the story to permanently change reality. At the start of Deer Fest. So, Dark Presence? No. You gotta get the clicker. Some other strange reality, the dark place merged with ours place. In the dark place, the page called this area an overlap.
Okay.
I entered the Cauldron Lake for the overlap poem. Learn about the clicker, interrogate Wake.
Okay. Mr. Wake, I know you have more pages of the manuscript on you.
You don't understand how vital these pages are. They're the only way I can know what's coming.
You're not the only one trying to solve this. This is our job.
Okay. Here. Now, this is all I have. Be careful with them. Inside the trailer, at the outskirts of Watery, Saga had seen Wake's fabled clicker for the first time, in the hands of the Cult of the Tree. A cultist stared at her. She drew her weapon.
Where would this go? This go... Who's involved?
That's not right.
Working for or with someone. The note reminds cultists that victims are like animals. I think they're going to cult psychology. The story. For later.
The Cult of the Tree has the clicker Wake told me about. They're a part of all this.
Watery trailer significant somehow. I mean, murder at Cauldron Lake.
Nightingale goes missing for 13 years, shows up murdered, and then turns into a monster. After I stop Nightingale, a rider who's also been missing for 13 years turns up. What's the connection? What kind of case is this?
I think, unanswered.
It's all on the page. The clicker, the cult. Okay, I'll head to Watery and find this trailer. Casey, you stay here and keep an eye on Mr. Wake.
Got it.
No, you need me there.
No dice, pal. This is an FBI investigation, and I don't see a badge on that flannel.
Okay. From now on, you can switch between Alan and Saga stories via the bucket in the janitor's break room. Feel free to... Via the bucket? Oh, that's nifty. So that is where we're going to wrap this episode today of Alanwake. For did enjoy it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And as always, please make sure to hydrate, medicate if you have to, eat some good food, be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other. And tomorrow's episode for Terrifying Thursday will pick up and we'll get into the action some more. Thank you all for watching. This is Callan Hale for Alanwake, Saga, and Detective Casey signing off.